in 10 seconds.
Yep.
Cool. So, hi THL. Welcome to this week's Power Rankings. Whoops. I had it in the background. I don't know what I just listened to. So, bringing you this week's Power Rankings, Week 5. We'll just start you right off the bat with number 20, Team Swagoy, who was also number 20 last week. And where is Swagoy? Swagoy. Yeah, so they lost to 1600 Dust. Good news is they scored 13 points doing it. It was a really close match. Tom Locke and Anamar picked up wins over Zoroshio and Serial. Team Swagoy, yeah. Still don't have that win on the year, right? I'm pretty sure they haven't won yet. So, I don't know. Whoops.
That's as close as you can get with losing, though.
Yeah. Distant last in blue, 12 points behind the team in front of them. Haven't won, and second to last in the league in points, ahead of only the Bad Hombres.
Well.
Also, poor Doc, but can't get on that. Can't get on the board.
Also, and I think will not be able to play this week as he needs a sub. That's some insider information.
R.I.P.
And by insider information, I'm pretty sure that was posted on the Facebook group like an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of the Hombres, we are number 19. Last week we were number 18, but we went down because we lost a lot, as we have been doing. But
you know, you guys play?
We played the Harry Generals.
I see Mange Man's pick up a win against Chigma, though. PogChamp.
Yeah, Chigma, who has been telling me for weeks now that he's not average, and then loses to Druid, Paladin, and Hunter. So I don't know, man. JK. Yeah, the Harry Generals beat our ass. Everyone else lost. They suck.
Can confirm. They lose. You suck. Hot 45 points for the Hombres.
Pretty good. Number 18 is Netherstone. Speaking of losing and sucking. Yeah, so I think Mushu picked up a win over Boom Boom Hall, and Twiz picked up a sweep over Samu, but everyone else lost, including Crowman losing to Katoto, K2 losing again to Bentley. Netherstorm is bad.
Yeah, really start losing a lot.
Yeah, the roster concerns looking preseason seem pretty validated right now.
Yeah. As I'm pretty sure the only one on the team with a winning record is Twiz. Maybe also Swanky Tiger. I don't remember. Yeah. Maybe next season. I think it's kind of late for these guys this season.
Yeah.
Number 17, we have everyone's favorite dumpster fire, Team Avatar, who was previously 19.
This team was one win off a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Like a season and a half ago.
Yeah.
And it's mostly the same players.
A lot of them, yeah. At least 3 out of 5. Right? Yeah, 3 out of 5. So.
Also, it makes me laugh that G-Nets was PogChamping in chat about them getting out of bottom 3 and they're bottom 4.
Bottom 4. Well, maybe next week. But yeah, so in position, I think picked up his first win of the THL season. Getting that 3-2 over Jing Buddha.
Good win.
Boy, that must have been a show. They both love playing shit decks.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet that was fun to watch. And Lemur picked up the win 3-2 over Delta 4-1, but
big win for Lemur.
Yeah, nice little win for him. But that's kind of the extent of their success, and that's pretty much been their success this season. Just 1 or 2 random wins.
G-Nets won too.
Oh, that's right. Well, G-Nets did win because Trady Sork did not understand his perfectly typed English and could not get that match in time. So
yeah, his own perfectly typed English.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, G-Nets doesn't understand English. He's not from America, so everyone knows if you're not from America, you don't understand English.
Attaboy, Team Avatar. At least you got the win, right? Not win this on the air, so feels good, man. Number 16, we have Zenergy, who was also 16 last week. They won, and we really wanted to try to move them up a little bit, but we didn't because they beat Netherstorm.
Yeah. It's
And
like they barely
hard.
won against a team that like isn't very good.
Yeah. Good news is Katoda is now stringing together some wins. Looks like he's knocked off some of those early season struggles. He's playing well. Zab, we mentioned earlier, picked up that one against Swanky Tiger. Good for him. They have a decent core, it looks like, or like what should be a decent roster. They have like one seed in Katoda, and then all these guys are around 400 PR and the 2 through 4 seeds. And you'd think like you'd be able to get some production out of that, but it really hasn't happened for them.
No, not yet.
Yeah. Cassie, where are they at in the standings?
Avatar is Zenergy?
Yeah, sorry.
Zenergy is dead last in yellow. They are 9 points behind Team Well Met. 58 on the season.
Yeah, so not great. But
we'll say if they were in black, they would be in 4th place.
Well, the good news is out of all the last place teams, they have the most points. So that's neat.
That's something.
You're the best of the worst, man. That's cool.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't know. Dexter has his work cut out for him. Good news is though, unlike last season, is they are playing their match and they seem to actually be a functioning team. So that's actually a step up, and maybe this is a stepping stone into building something competitive for next season. So keep it up, Dexter.
I think it's fair to say if we did tier lists last season, they would have been in the what a joke tier, dumpster fire tier. So going from that to needs work, that's a solid improvement.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
Also, you might note this week that the needs work tier is very big.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of shit teams.
Y'all need Jesus.
Well, he's not doing so well either. He's 1-4.
Oh, that's true.
So number 15, we have Danger Zone, who was previously 11th, and I'm trying to find them on my sheet. Found them.
They lost to Avatar.
That's right. They did score 12 points. That's pretty good. But a lot of people behind them won pretty big, like right behind them. So they did some leapfrogging there, which is why Danger Zone fell pretty drastically from that 15 or from that 11 to that 15 spot. But same old them. Good news is Gideon Echo picks up another win. He's in a 3 seed this week, so I think he's like 3-1 on the season. Pretty good
that's
for
came down, and he was tearing it up.
Yeah, assuming that's pretty good for a new captain coming in the middle of the season. Not really expecting to play. I don't know. They just kind of what everyone expected. They're just not quite good enough. That being said, I think they're only like 6 points out of first.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're missing the people that left. 'Cause if I remember right, those guys had pretty good records early on in the season.
Graham definitely did. Oh, yeah, Danger Zone is actually second in the division. They're 4, so it's like we're talking like it's over for them. It's not.
Now, if the playoffs started today, they'd be in. Oh no, I lied. They wouldn't be. I looked at the wrong division. They would not be in.
No, but it would be close. They'd be 1 point out.
Yeah, they're right there.
Yeah, so they still have a shot. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a strong team in my opinion, in our opinions.
Yeah, really struggling. Not a lot of, I guess, off the field issues, if you will.
Yeah, it's definitely been weird for them. I'm actually really surprised Delta 4-1 is like doing so poorly.
Same.
Yeah.
People that know him in Discord know he can be a little bit of a meme and a kind of a kooky guy, but he's definitely not a bad Hearthstone player.
Yeah, like he usually hits Legend.
He's usually decently ranked inside of Legend too.
Yeah. So I'm actually very surprised, even in the 4 seed, that he's getting smacked around a little bit. Maybe if he can turn it around, Danger Zone can really make a push for this division that's wide the fuck open.
Sure is.
Anyway, moving on from them, number 14 is Team Wilmette, who
They won.
beat Inisham Novum.
Mhm.
What?
I said they won.
I thought I got something wrong. Okay, yeah. So Hot Asian Girl beat Sefrix in a sweep. Eldorian beat Wolfmac in a sweep. And Jack Sox took it home 3-1 over Slime Guy on Salty Saturday, which was a very entertaining match.
Uh-huh.
If you haven't seen the VOD yet, I highly recommend it. Yeah, Team Wilmette. They're fourth in their division. They have 67 points. Not looking good for their playoff hopes because that's a lot of ground to make up.
Mm-hmm.
I guess technically they're what? 7 points out of the playoff spot. So the division title is probably not realistic, but wild cards still definitely have a chance.
Yeah, if the playoffs were to start today, 3 from yellow would be in. So like that, all they have to do is catch NWA to get in.
Yeah. That's cool. They definitely still have a shot, and if I think those three have kind of been when they've won, they've been the consistent performers, or like they've been the reason they've won. So
Yeah.
if those three specifically can keep winning, they have a shot to sneak in, and then once you get in the playoffs, like it's just anyone's game.
Yeah, I feel like the big question marks of that team are the 3 and the 4 seed. I'm pretty sure the 3 seed hasn't done very well. Not 100% on that. But I know Bitbeaker, I'm almost positive his only win's a DQ win.
Yeah.
Beaker, yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah, he's definitely struggling. I think it was probably an error in team construction to sign him and a 5 seed. I think it would have been better off trying to get a 4 seed and then himself being the 5 seed. But too late for that now. But despite the struggles, despite his struggles, if he turns it around, if they continue to just make a little bit of ground every week, they have a shot come the end of the season. So, oh boy, number 13. We have the Defias Brotherhood, who was 10 last week, and in 2 weeks they have fallen from number 3 to number 13. That is 10 spots. They're not good.
They can't buy a win right now.
They have good players. They have a very good roster, and sometimes it just doesn't matter. They went up against Parallax, who we are going to have ranked very high this week, and they did come away with 13 points, which is good. But honestly, I think they should be winning that. They should be winning that match with the talent on their roster. Like Old Greg should not be losing to Houdini in a 5-game series. ASUC should not be losing to Eridan. Aroy took Super Sam to 5. I think that's pretty good. That's about what you hope for this week if you're Defias. And once you saw that, you should have felt pretty good with the rest of the 4, but they're just not getting it done.
Oh, lots of struggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why either.
Well, the biggest disappointments, right? It's Jesus and it's Old Greg.
Yeah, what we thought were the missing pieces.
Well, those two, but like Comp's not having a stellar season himself either. He should be like dunking on the 3s.
Yeah, he should definitely be doing much better. He did beat Dire Spare this week in a 5-game series on stream. But I agree. I expected a lot more of him.
Same.
But AO did pick up a nice win in the 5 seed against Gemini, 3-2. So I don't know. They're talented. They're still in the race. They're 2 or 3 points out of a playoff spot currently. 6 points out of the top of their standing. They have a shot, but gotta turn the ship around. They're playing like shit, to be honest.
Yep. That division's still wide open though.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I mean, that division is just nothing but mediocre teams or bad teams. So
yeah.
Yeah. So moving on, we have Team 1600 Dust at number 12. Last week they were 13. We mentioned that they played Swagoy, and they won, 14
To 13. Very unimpressive win.
14 to 13. So if your team's 1600 dust, you see Swagoy on the list who hasn't won yet on the schedule, and you're licking your lips, and then you come away with a 1-point victory.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's still a victory, so that's good. You still get those 3 extra bonus points.
Yeah, the downside is they are just so far out of the playoff picture right now.
Yeah.
They
Blue,
no longer control their own destiny.
Blue and pink are very, very, they're very highly contested. And if you eliminate, well, you don't have to eliminate them, but in both conferences, they would be what? They'd be third to last.
Distant
So,
third.
yeah.
Also,
Yeah, they need to start winning big, and then they need people in front of them to lose. So it's definitely not looking good. And having has been a frequent visitor of Discord, having talked to him, it seems like he has acknowledged that and is now focusing on the rebuild aspect. Figuring out who wants to be a part of the team going into next season, figuring out where his holes are and how to rebuild. So it looks like that's about all she wrote for 1600 Deaths this season.
Also, Hat says in chat, moving up in the world despite almost losing to Swagoy, awkward. Well, you'll see here in a minute. These teams we're getting to, almost all of them lost.
Yeah, it was really, really hard to do. This has been the weirdest season for power rankings. Maybe just having the 5 or the 4 extra teams is really throwing a wrench in it. But I've always felt very confident in what we do, ranking teams, and this time around it's been, I don't know, it's been really difficult to do.
There's just very little consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Teams are really struggling to string together success without blowing a tire.
Yeah, I wonder if that's maybe a product of the meta. We're in a Reno meta or in this pirate meta, and if some of the a Reno deck, if you're up against pirate deck and you don't get Reno, it's hard to win. So I wonder if some of it has to do with that kind of shit. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. It's weird.
It's either a product of the meta.
Oh,
sorry. I was gonna say it's either a product of the meta or the quality of the league has just went down across the board.
Yeah, there's probably a lot more parity than in a lot of seasons past.
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, if you have 20 teams, your talent is a little bit more stretched then. Despite getting some new guys into the league, it's still harder to do.
Kind of diluted.
Yeah. So moving on from 1600, we have
new tier, boys.
Oh yeah, that was the end of our needs work. A lot of people need work.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Number 11, or I'm sorry, number
11. You're right.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm right. I'm tired. Number 11 is Team Golden West, who was previously 8. They lost.
They lost.
They went up against New Central, and a chance to string together several victories, and then
they got rolled.
They got pooped on. I mean, yeah, they did. They got 9 points. That's decent. They did win 2 matches. But the concerning thing is that Double O's and Hopnar both got swept. You got 0 points out of your 1 and 2 seeds.
Pretty bad.
And that's really hard to win when that happens. It's really hard to win when 2 of your people on your team get swept and contribute nothing for the week. So, good news is that Sunshine beat Ham 3-2. I think he still has not lost yet.
Yep, undefeated still, 5-0.
Still kicking ass. Alec on the board got a 3-2 victory over Cutthroat. The unfortunate part is that Drubik's Cube lost to Samson, gave Samson his first win of the season.
Yep.
Looking at the division, Golden Wisp has 69 points. I don't know where that puts them in relation for a playoff spot. I actually think they'd be in. Yeah, they would be in. They have that last playoff spot right now. Wow, that's actually kind of incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're barely hanging on. Temporal Legends right behind them. Noob Central right behind the Legends. They have a shot,
Wait, they wouldn't be in.
wouldn't they?
No. Supreme and Aeon are the division leaders, and then Entropy and Hair Generals are ahead.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I'm dumb. Yeah,
They're
said
9
it.
points out.
Last time when we did it with 10.
yeah, I'm dumb. You're right. Not in it. They disregard everything.
They're a solid 9 points out.
Yeah, so they're struggling.
Their biggest problem is the problem a lot of these teams are having: consistency. They like some weeks they'll come out and they'll play the best team in the league and beat them or give them a run for their money, and then the next week they play like a very mediocre team and they just get rolled. Like, you gotta string together consistent play.
They also play in blue, and every team in blue is really kind of handicapped. There's just, other than Swagger, there's really no easy week.
No, there's not.
Well, speaking of easy weeks, they play the Hombres this week, so that'll help.
Well, that's definitely not going to hurt them.
So yeah, they have 9 points. You said to make up.
Yep.
This is the week to do it.
Yeah, get your 9 points in. Yeah, they still have a pretty solid roster, and if they can get more out of their 1 and 2 seeds than they got this week, then they're going to be in the race up to the end, or at least in the hunt up to the end.
Yep.
Number 10, we have Noob Central, who was previously 14. They had the aforementioned big win over Team Golden Wisp, with Racy, Thor Smash both taking home sweeps. Samson finishing the week off with a 3-1 himself, and maybe signs of life from Samson. I think Cutthroat's having an okay season despite him losing this week. The problem areas have been the 4 and the 5 seed. Ham got his win last week, I think, and Samson got his win this week, so maybe they can start turning it around and doggy paddle and Noob Central back into this race.
Yeah, I hate to sound like I'm on repeat again, but again, consistency. They play Team Golden West, have a really good week after losing to Hombres. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely odd. That seems to be the theme for a lot of teams in the league this season. Just not being able to string together much of anything. So moving on from Noob Central, we have NWA at number 9. Last week they were number 7. NWA's and
Yellow. They lost
yellow.
4 of their 5 matches.
Whew. They went up against Hearthstone Academy.
Oh no, I'm sorry. 3 of their 5.
2 out of the 3. Or 2 out of the 5. Yeah. And that's right. They won that tight one against Hearthstone Academy. Salt lost in 5 to me, myself, and I. Tawny Montana lost in 5 to Brewski. And Drudded lost to Scritch 1-3. That one surprised me, actually.
Yeah, that one is. Drudded's having a good season.
Yeah, he is. So for him to lose to someone not having the best of seasons is a little bit surprising, but
Yeah, they played Hearthstone Academy close, but like Hearthstone Academy hasn't lost, so they're having a good season.
They are having a good season, but NWA is not. They've been again inconsistent up and down.
Yep.
And
Here's an example. If the playoffs started today, they would sneak in.
Yep, they'd still be in.
Yeah, and I mean, despite, I don't even like having them this high, to be honest. I think they honestly could be lower. If anyone be like below them actually deserve to leapfrog them.
Right.
But
they are a playoff team somehow.
Technically a playoff team. I wonder how much longer Salt will keep building the team this way, with the core pieces seeming to be himself, Tawny Montana, and Dreaded, and then just like replacing someone that makes them go over the cap with a slightly worse version. Because that's what we've seen, right? Like 2 seasons ago, NWA was very strong, and then they took a step back, and they took another step back. And I think at some point, if you are trying to be competitive, which isn't always the case, at some point you probably have to take a step back and rebuild the roster somewhere somehow. But for now they're a playoff team in the weak yellow and black conference. Number 8, we have Initium Novum. I don't know what to do with this team at all.
This team's so hard to place.
Yeah.
If you look at the standings, they are first.
Top of the list, though.
The problem with that is that 3 of those weeks came from a entirely different roster. Not entirely, a mostly different roster. That is all gone.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to pinpoint exactly where they should be. And after this week, I still don't know because they lost to a team that I don't think they should have lost to. They did get 9 points. Arcane, who is still undefeated on the season.
Yep.
Blue Spartan picks up his first one in THL. The issues, it seems to me, are that the 5 seed has not won yet, the new 5 seed, and while he's played, he has struggled mightily the times that I've seen him. And then this week we have Steph Riggs and Wolfmack getting swept and getting 0 points to their team.
Yeah.
So
Wolfmack's had a really rough season himself.
Yeah, not been the best. Not been the best for sure.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we just slog through this part of the league?
Yeah.
Like we're trying to come up with positive things to say, but what none of us want to say is that we would be shocked if any of these teams won the whole thing.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if anyone up to this point won. This is the last team in the hunt, or I guess technically the first team division. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about them other than that we need to see more, because it's still relative to the rest of the league, they don't have much to go on. But the good news is that they were afforded a giant lead in their division, and they still are hanging on to it. So, yay.
Yeah, the biggest problem that the middle of this roster is, or the middle of the power rankings is going to see, when the playoffs come, it's 1 loss and you're done. Like, you're gone. And these teams have shown signs of good wins here, good wins there, and then losing to teams they absolutely shouldn't lose to.
Yeah, and in the playoffs, you're going to have at least 1 week where just RNG fucks you, and you have to win.
Yep.
And I promise, RNG is gonna fuck you. If there's one thing I know.
Yep.
If there's the one card that they need to top deck to beat you, you best believe it's sliding right on the top.
So you're going to have that 1 week where, like, you had to be preparing well, and you had to have your deck list just right and all that, because that's what it'll come down to.
Yep.
And these teams, I think, have shown us that they struggle in those areas, and it comes back to bite them kind of regularly.
Also, for you guys in here, Babbling Book issue 2, I think, just went out. So check your emails.
PogChamp. Also, if you're using Gmail, check the promotions tab, because that's where mine always goes to.
Yes. So moving on from Initium Novum. I wish I had more to say about them, but it's just so hard. But moving on, we have Temporal Legends at number 7. Last week, I'm in chat. I'm reading D Lyman tell Smoke Salmon he doesn't want to be here. Last week, we have the Temporal Legends, who last week was number 4. This week is number 7. It was a weird week for them, because if I'm not mistaken, they lost all 5 of their matches, and that sucks. But they lost 4 out of 5 of these matches in 5-game series.
Uh-huh.
So they end up with 9 points, and if you're going to lose 9 points, or if you're going to lose all 5 of your matches, 9 points is pretty good.
Yeah, it's one off the max you can have losing all 5. Also,
So they're really good at sucking.
yeah.
They are the best.
Also, they
All right.
lost 3 of their 4 5-game series in reverse sweep fashion.
Yeah, reverse sweep fashion. What I understand, there is some interesting brings there that may or may not have cost them.
Yeah, well, when you hear reverse sweep, you automatically start thinking that there had to be something. And they all brought pretty uniform lineups, if I remember.
I'll say,
yeah, pretty much.
So there has to be something fishy going on there. Otherwise, it's just, I don't think it's uber coincidental.
one of the decks that was brought almost team wide went 0-7 and was a two of the 3 reverse sweeps were on that deck. Them playing that deck.
Yeah. So the actual issues of this team is that Hector Howell is now 0-5 and Mbulk is now 1-4.
Yep.
So your top 2 players, the guys who are supposed to be the 2 best players in your team, are combined 1 and 9.
Yeah, and on an inexperienced team like this one, that really seeps through. Because, those are the guys that are helping and coaching the players that are lower and in some cases newer outside of Loch Ness H. And so when you're not finding success and then the people not finding success are trying to help the new people find success, you worry that it's going to spiral.
Yep. Also, I think that goes back to deck selection. Like the higher seeds are more likely to be suggesting decks to the lower seeds, and if they're suggesting decks that just aren't good brings, it's gonna show.
Yeah, which I mean, for the most part, the lower seeds have done well.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's probably not the issue. The issue is just, or at least it's not the full issue. The issue that we know of is that those 2 seeds are underperforming. And I think that if you would have asked us in the preseason, I would say that there is no way in hell that Hector Howell and Mbulk are a combined 1-9, but here we are. But like we said, the rest of the team is performing well. I know Loch Ness is 3-2. I think Phoebus is also. I think the rest of those guys are 3-2 even, or around there. It's 2-3 or 3-2. So there's something there, and if Mbulk and Hector Howell can turn around the second half of the season, because that's we're actually in the second half at this point. They have the shot to make that run. So
they also need to start getting points and getting points now.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely in dire straits.
They're 10 points out.
Definitely in dire straits. But not out of it completely yet. Sorry, I was reading something. Number 6, we have the Harry Generals. Last week they were number 9. This week they played against the Hombres, and they won most of their matches. I got 17 points. That's a good number. That's all I got.
Yeah, they're playing really well, and
doing what they always do. They're flying under the radar.
Yep.
And they'll be an extremely tough out in the playoffs.
They have 79 points. If the playoffs started today, they'd be in. They're second most in purple behind Aeon.
Really solid team culture. They're not going to do anything crazy out of the blue, and they're always just they're gonna be solid.
Yep.
And I think the one thing the Generals always are is consistent every season, and like we've talked about, that's been the Achilles heel for a lot of teams. So it makes sense that they're doing really well in this environment.
Agree.
So I think if you wanted to just break down the roster a little bit further, I think that everyone in here and around the league really has always had a lot of respect for Markshire as a player. But I don't think anyone would tell you that he is a top of the line 1 seed. I don't think he would even tell you that he is a top of the line 1 seed. But he has turned into that this season.
Sure has.
Yeah,
He has not lost, and he's beating everyone that he's playing against.
in both leagues.
Yeah, in SHL and THL. So I think that he has just slowly improved and is now he's now a legitimate top of the line 1 seed, or at least seems to be.
Oh god, I love Salmon. Answer Salmon's question, Paige.
0-5 Hector is the issue. Thinking.
No, Salmon.
That's Gina.
Oh wait, the Salmon at.
What do you think of Chigmo? Oh, he talked about that already.
Oh yeah, I already talked about Chigmo.
I know.
Chigmo is very adamant that he's not average, and he lost to Druid, Paladin, Hunter. So I'll let you guys decide. Nah, Chigmo's great. Chigmo's a cool dude and really good player. I'm just fucking around. In general, is great. So they're going to be, like Cassie said, a tough out. All right, Salmon. Let's get to your team. Number 5, we have Entropy, who was previously number 2.
Yeah, they've strung together back-to-back losses.
Yeah, they're really doing well here.
8-point week
I'm
against
trying to
Avon.
find them on my. Yeah, okay, so Phenom got swept by Top Hat Demon on stream.
Yeah, some rough play there.
Yeah, not great. Rough, weird lineup and
Very
tech
weird.
choices.
No Shaman, no Warlock. Or I mean, no Shaman, no Warrior, my bad.
Yeah.
I just don't see
yeah,
how that ever works out.
That's weird.
Talking about, the best class in the game and probably the second best class in the game. Because you can either use Warrior as a pirate deck, you can use it as a mid-range Dragon pirate deck, you can use it as one of your target Shaman decks by bringing control. I mean, I don't just not bringing Warrior makes no sense to me.
Yeah. I don't know. Weird lineup.
Salmon lost to Kungmar in 5. D Lyman beat Ridiculous 3-1. D Lyman was, I think, if you would have asked D Lyman before this week, that he would have bet money on him losing because he can't figure out the 3 seed. But he really managed to pull out a tough one there.
Did he do a windmill? An alley off the glass windmill?
Yeah, he did. He alley-ooped off the glass, windmill dunked on the.
He made sure he put his elbow through the Fisher Price rim.
So the weird, or I guess the result that surprises me the most is Crayon going down to Dark Seed.
Yeah.
Crayon has not lost in the 4 seed.
Crown hasn't lost in since mid-season last season.
In the
He's just a
4 seed
machine.
specifically, he has been dominant, just absolutely dominant. And so he goes down in 5 to Dark Seed. That surprised me this season, and we'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to Aeon. And then Crackshot DQs again because he doesn't know how bans or submissions works apparently.
Good work, Salmon.
Attaboy.
Halfway through the season, buddy.
Captain of the year, Salmon.
So they still do have that second wild card spot of the conference, so they're clinging on. There's a little bit of room between them and everyone else, so they don't have to be immediately worried. But obviously, if they keep losing, they're going to be in trouble. I think that they should be fine, though.
Yeah. So do I.
Yeah. So number 4, this is a big jump. Might be one of the biggest jumps that we've had without like extenuating circumstances around it. But we have the Hearthstone Academy jumping from number 12 to number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Hearthstone Academy, guys.
Oh, they shut us up. We said they had no quality wins, and they beat NWA, which was a pretty decent quality win. They've only lost to Parallax. So,
and a match that they very well could have won if Sage did not DQ.
Yep.
Let's talk about the good.
Captain of the year, boys.
Brewski,
Yeah,
JV,
man, he and Salmon. Ooh,
Sage
that's a
and Salmon-
race.
Sage and Salmon with Captain Murdoch right on their heels.
Followed by Pumbas and G-Nets re-signing Lemur after leading a mutiny against him.
I'd
And
like to toss my hat into this circle.
There are some great captains this season.
Brewski, JV, and me, myself, and I think have combined them 2 losses. They have been absolutely dominant in the 1, 2, and 3 seeds. That's the good. The bad news is that Sage has yet to win a game that he's played.
Yep.
Got a DQ win.
Yep.
Dodging like a motherfucker.
Yep.
But he is yet to win in matches that he's played. He gets swept by force of will. So if you wanted to highlight an area of concern from this team, that would be it, right? Like you at this point you have an auto loss in the 4 seed. And we have played with an auto loss in one of your seeds, and it's really fucking hard to win 4 out of 5. Win 3 out of 4 matches every week.
And it just like wears on you.
It's also really hard.
It just pulls you apart week by week.
It's really hard when you go like it's okay for them right now because like frankly they're playing in a division that's just really really weak. So like it's fine, but like when the playoffs roll around, they're gonna play good teams every week. And they're also going to play teams that in blue, especially, where the top of these rosters are really strong. So, like with the strength of their roster being 1, 2, 3, I don't know how their 1, 2, 3 stacks up against some of these other teams that are.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell because, like you said, they've only played against, they've only played, against less than solid competition.
Yeah.
We do know Tony Montana is a pretty okay 1 seed. I think he
started this season.
Not quite as good as he has been in the past. Salt, he's decent 3 seed as well. Pink Salmon is decent 2 seed. So like I think that the guys that they just not beat up on, but like they're all those matches are 5-game series. The guys they just played these really tight series on, aren't the best of their seats. They're just like solidly average, and that kind of tells you a little bit that maybe those guys aren't. I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to even finish making that.
No, I know you're like. JB is not cheesy 10.
Yeah, like he's probably not, right? And like Brewski's probably not Slim, despite having not lost yet. So.
And so, like we've seen in the past, it's really hard to win with a lineup built that way unless you have some of the best players in the league building a lineup like that. And they just haven't run into teams that can really test that.
Yeah,
for the course of the season.
Super hard to get a read on this team, just depending, just their strength of schedule. And the way the playoff system is designed, we won't know really anything because they're playing all the same teams at the end of the playoffs. But I don't know.
Yeah, we won't know until the finals, assuming they play a team that's good in the finals.
Yeah, they're winning. They're doing very well, specifically those top 3 seeds, and they deserve to be higher. So we shot them up. Speaking of another shitty yellow team, Parallax is our number 3 team this week. They were our number 3 team last week. And they are still undefeated, I want to say.
Yes. I think so, yep.
So Super Sam won again. Eridan won again. And Houdini now has put together 2 straight wins, I think.
I think you're right.
So maybe he heard us talking shit. Yeah, they are leading the league in points.
Yep, 90 points.
They are doing very well. They're a good team. I don't know what else to say about them because the same caveats that we just talked about, Hearthstone Academy, also applies to them in my mind. Less so a little bit because some of these guys have track records. Like we know Super Sam is very good. We think Houdini is probably pretty good, despite his less than stellar THL results. That Despair has been slowly improving each season, so
Yeah,
I
take your
do wish that they were in a division with more competition, just so I could see some really good matches. But what
It
were you
is.
saying?
It's going to be really hard for either of these teams, I think, to move up in our power ranking, barring some like unforeseen 6 point week. Some temporal legends type week from Supreme or from the team in second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, but I mean, keep winning and shit happens. You'll move up. I'm sure Jerry's not pleased with me putting him 3 and leapfrogging. What's it called? But I really don't know what else to say about them.
Yeah, they're beating up on a very weak division.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
about all I got.
And
They're
talking a
beating-
lot of shit in the process.
Oh,
Sick.
you know what? I'd like to talk about that. Imagine having a chip on your shoulder on some friendly banter and tavern talk. God damn. Go a fucking pair of balls, pair
Then
of
acting like a little bitch, and then coining a really shitty nickname for yourself after you acted like a really shitty little bitch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're not gonna get any arguments from me on that. Agreed.
But that's cute. You do you.
Let's move on. Number 2. We have Aeon, who was previously number 5. They won again.
Big win.
Really good win. They beat Entropy. Pretty handedly. So
17-point week.
I think
They are for real.
Yeah, I think
And they play in a division that they get to prove that in.
Yeah. I think all the things that we've said about this roster in the past is coming to fruition. They're really good, 1 through 4. Top Hat is great. Kagmar has been really good since he's been, in the league. Ridiculous has probably been the weakest of those 4, but still has some wins under his belt. And I'd like to talk about Darkseid a little bit because he upset Crayon in a match that I don't think any of us saw coming. So do you guys think that this kind of solidifies him as an elite 4 seed, or at least a very good 4 seed? Because I tend to think it does.
Who, Darkseid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty big win. He beat Crown.
Yeah.
Crown hadn't lost in I don't know, 8 weeks. I don't have a stat on my head. I'm just pulling a number out of my ass, but I know he hadn't lost in a long time. He's been fairly dominant in the lower seeds for a long time.
Yeah. And since the Town Drunk wants us to get on with our Town Drunk bashing, I'll gladly do that. He actually lost his match to Crackshot. He got swept.
Yep.
Even though Crackshot last year was one of the worst 5 seeds in the league. But, he did end up getting a DQ win. So, yay. Nice job. Golf clap.
After the fact. I've never heard of that before either. I've never heard of someone playing a match and then getting the DQ win. That's new. I understand a rule was broken, but that's just very odd in the ordering that it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Really poor sequencing. You always want to draw first.
Well, unless you don't want to give yourself more options.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I think that they're very strong, 1 through 4, and I think their 5 seed still has a lot to be desired. But
strong together too.
Usually a team has a hole somewhere, right? And the rest of the team is really, really good. So great for Aeon. Moving on up. And number 1, we have Supreme, who last week was number 1. We've talked enough about the 1, 2, 3 seeds, so let's talk about DD and Senior Saxon. Detective Diamond got another win over Phoebus 3-1. This one being very strong, in my opinion.
Yeah. Hell of a win. Back-to-back wins for him.
Phoebus is a really good 4 seed, so the fact that Donnie is able to get on Donnie's side, Detective Diamond, DD, was able to get that win is really good for him. And Senior Jackson picks up his first win of the season against a quality opponent in the Avatar, 3-2. So if those two, again, I mean, I think I say this every week, but I think it bears repeating. If those two and those 4 and 5 seeds can keep, they don't have to be world beaters, but just keep, putting up a little bit of points each week, maybe stealing a win here and there. The Supreme is going to be really hard to beat.
Yeah, Detective Diamond's having a pretty good season now.
Yeah,
Back-to-back wins. 3-2.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Which I think is 3 more wins than you would have guessed.
I mean,
I did say DD's killing it.
Yeah, he's doing really well, especially for like he's came in at like I don't know what ones I should know this, but I don't. 180, 160, something in there. He was like a really low PR 4 seed in this league, like probably the lowest.
I'm pretty sure 180.
Yeah, I think that's the lowest 4 seed in the league. I could be wrong, but like he's under PR almost every single match. So, like,
my boy DD is a stud.
Like he's doing
I
really
called
well.
this.
Yeah, he's doing well. So the fact that they're getting a this kind of contribution, the 4 seed, makes Supreme very scary.
Yep.
Up there with Aeon, in my opinion. So obviously we have them, one ahead. But
yeah, these are the championship favorite tiers, by the way. Got it.
Yeah, I didn't mention the playoff teams, but what? They can fucking see it down there.
Okay.
You guys see what our fucking tiers are? Fuck you.
Got him. All right. Has anyone in the chat got Qs that we can A?
Yeah, let's cue some A's. Probably not. I've missed a ton of chat because I wanted to stay focused on results and not like bumbling around and looking for shit, which I did a decent job this week compared to previous ones.
Yeah, we're in there. What DQ is this? Airden asked. We'll talk about Donnie's. Yada yada. What is your favorite color? Great question. Gold.
Oh, putting 2 teams in the same conference in the championship tier. They're both really good teams, and they got fucked by RNG.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Airden said 2 teams in the same conference.
That doesn't mean that. Okay, so what that all? Okay, he's taking it too literally. It doesn't mean that they're both going to be in the championship. It just means that they're the 2 best teams. The championship tier are just like they're the favorites, right?
Yeah, the favorites.
Just like the favorites every year in the NFL for the longest time were the Patriots and Colts in the same conference.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Also, Mark Shire was asking earlier about like the playoff teams, how there's only 7, and some of these teams aren't even in the playoffs. It's more like if we were hosting an invitational, these would be the 7 teams we would invite. These are the teams we think are the 7 strongest in the league.
It's not like literal stuff. It's not like these are the literal 7 playoff teams. No. These are just like maybe we should rename them. Just think of it honestly as tier 1 teams, tier 2 teams, tier 3 teams, and tier 4 teams.
All right. But yeah, if it was a tier list, that's how it'd be tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. We just decided to name them. We could change it to tier 1 through 4 if people want. Sure.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that for you next week. Although I kind of like pissing you off, so maybe not.
Same.
Slim's request color coding next time. We can probably do that.
He wanted to
color
code.
Are we color coding the divisions?
Yeah, he wanted like like hombres, you'd be purple because you're in purple.
Sick. Yeah, let's do that.
Sure.
Just for you, Slim.
Where
I guess.
would a team consisting of 4 Brunsons and a Shady Sorark rank? Number 1.
Yeah. Can't stop those memes. M-Bulk asks, at the MV Parker, who is the best Ceratul in the world and why is it Glaurung?
Not Glaurung. Did you watch the Ceratul play against Tempo Storm? Looked like ass.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't a strong performer in that match, or specifically on that Ceratul.
played a pretty good one against GFE. But against Tempo Storm, it looked like ass. Alright, well, I think that's it. I don't see any queues that need aid.
No, that's it. I think we've done our job. If you guys would like to come and have an actual discussion and back and forth,
Discord.
yeah, just hop in the Discord and I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Also, Brian, the best Zeratul in the world is probably someone in Korea. I don't know who.
Rich.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that one.
Rich is good. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Bye.